Hello and welcome to Who's the Bee, the podcast where you tell us your situation and we'll tell you if it's your fault, your mother-in-law's fault, your cousin's fault, the psychic's fault. We'll tell you everything.
We're going to tell you.
I'm Kara Clank, one of your hosts.
I'm Jackie Zabrowski, one of your other hosts. I guess
and it's just the two of us.
It's just us, guys. It's just us. I guess we're going bad cop today. So everybody get your belt strapped on. I don't know what you have, how you have to prepare yourself for that, but it's bad cop in here today. And we're not here. We're not mincing any words today. We're only mincing meat. So you better keep all that meat away from us or we're going to turn it into fruit pie. Because a mincemeat pie is not a meat pie, Kara. It's a fruit pie.
Really?
Yeah, did you know that? Did you know that, Kara? Or am I just dropping fruit facts at you early?
No, that's so weird. Why do the British mess with the language so much? It's their language.
Sometimes,
why?
You just got to make, you just got to make like a chutney. It's chutney. Maybe we just put a chutney in a pie.
But why are you calling it meat?
But because sometimes you got to make meat out of fruit, Kara. That's what us meat eaters do. You don't understand. It's the only way we can get other meat eaters to eat fruit. We go, it's like meat. But it's like meat, but it's got all the things in it. And it tastes very different. I
literally had no idea. Today I learned that a mincemeat pie was fruit. Okay.
You're welcome, everybody. And also, I'm going to throw it out there. It's not one of my favorite pies. So, and this is coming in from Jackie, a pie connoisseur. I did work at a bakery. I worked at a pie bakery for 8 years. So I know pie.
You know pie.
Thank you.
If you guys are watching on YouTube, which I hope you are, youtube.com/@who'sthebee, you can tell that I'm in a very luxurious gear room that's real behind me. No, I'm at my parents' house, and my mom obviously is practicing her piano downstairs, even though I told her I was working.
I love it because I'm
regressing. I'm 16, and I'm like, Mom, I'm on my recording.
I said that I was going to be recording upstairs. I'm sad already because I feel like our editors and our producers do a really good job, and they're probably going to take the lilting piano music out of the background of this audio podcast. However, it is beautiful. It just happening. At least your mom's not like,
no, she's been playing her whole life, so she's practicing because she has a lesson tomorrow. So.
Wow, she's still taking lessons.
She picked up lessons in her retirement. She's always played.
Oh, that's nice. Does she have the fingers for it?
And she does them over Zoom, which is hilarious because she can't hear anything. Like she's so... she's supposed to wear hearing aids, but she takes them out when she's practicing.
Because why would you want to hear it?
Right, well, she doesn't want to hear. It's loud. The piano's loud enough. She doesn't like the
that makes
what's that called? It makes it too loud.
Yes.
So she takes them out, and I'm like, how can you hear the woman on the Zoom? There's no way you can hear the woman on the Zoom.
And you can't see the keys either, right?
Or you couldn't find someone to come to our house once a week. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
And I like that she's like, I have to, Kara. I don't care how much work you have to do.
Yes, I must practice. She's like, I can't be bad.
I am really proud of you for not flipping out because I feel like I'd hit minute 15 of this episode and just be like, Mother, you must stop.
I'm saving it for Jared because Jared really can't have any sound on his.
Oh.
So I'm like, you cannot, because I'm sure you can't even hear it on his, but he's so paranoid that
I understand. Kara, I thought you meant I'm saving all my upset for Jared. And the second he walks through that door,
too. I save that for Jared.
I'm throwing it all right at Jared. Oh, no, I can't scream at my mother. No. But I can scream at my husband for no reason.
Give it to Jared. Yeah.
I'm glad that's not what you're doing, but I would have watched it happen where Jared's just like, I didn't do anything. Why are you yelling at me?
So besides my mom being the bee for playing piano during this recording, you had a little... I had a couple little unsolicited bits of I want to say bitchery. We can't say it.
We had bee season. Right. Honestly, that's what it was. I signed up for a permit for bee season, and I didn't realize that I was out there being a bee, hunting for a bee. And I will throw it. Sometimes, guys, I don't have any patience. every once in a while. Who, me, a human being, run out of patience? Yes. And I was at a show over the weekend, and this is not another one of those, I couldn't get a drink from the bartender. This was a different one, all right? We're already having a rough weekend, and we work a lot of different, I work a lot of romantasy conventions. My husband works a lot of horror conventions. At all of these conventions, they do say that there is no AI-generated art allowed at these conventions. You know why? Because we're all independent artists. Because we're all here making art. And then what do you see? Oh, you do. You see the ones that slip through the cracks that are trying to not be artists, that aren't even taking the generative art that they're making with AI and at least even making it their own for a second. They're not doing that. And we were close to someone, not close, I just meant in proximity at the show, to someone that was trying to essentially do a trade with us, but we knew that they were selling generative AI art. And I said, when there was an offer for a trade, no. And she said, why? And I said, because I don't buy AI generated art, and I don't think it should be allowed to be sold at these conventions. And I said it just like that. And the look, I was just like, oh, but that. And I was like, okay. I said,
I'm sure they're all going, these grandmas are not getting with the times, and good.
No, we make everything by hand. And like specifically, Jeff now has to openly say, these are hand painted, designed by me. I do every process of this artwork. And people then, but it's not as cheap as the AI art is. Because you know why? If you're not an artist and you're not putting any of the time into it, you can charge a bunch of money for it, but people think that they're getting a better product when it's like, no, yeah, there might be some human-based error overall in the different, like, isn't that the beauty of artwork, that every piece is different? And I would so much rather, like every keychain, Kara, I make them by hand. So if every once in a while you see a little outline of around one of the hearts, wouldn't you rather see that and know that a human being made it rather than someone that is just making slop and someone that is just really making all over our business and our artistry. And it drives me crazy. And while, yes, maybe I shouldn't have looked down the barrel of this woman's sad eyes to say something like this, but I wasn't even going to pretend like I wanted any of her garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was on hunting bee season, and I didn't realize that I was going to say that. But every once in a while, I'm not in the mood to be a mincemeat, no meat pie, okay?
Nope, you tore her up.
Tore her up.
I love it.
And she had nothing to say. She literally couldn't respond. Like, you and I both know, like, as an artist, I know that this art is not, that you didn't make this. We all know you didn't make this. But the thing is that people don't know that. And if you don't know what to look for, like, this is the thing I feel like I'm currently teaching, like, my mom. My mom genuinely doesn't know what to look for. We need to be educating other people about what to look for to make sure the art that you're purchasing is not AI generated.
Yeah. My kids think anything that like looks computer graphically done is AI. They're like, Mom, look how AI this is.
That's very cute.
Because they know I hate it.
That's
and so they're trying to be on that.
That's very
and I'm like,
cute.
No, listen, that's just a drawing of Santa Claus.
Yes.
It's just a cartoon of Santa.
Yes.
That's not AI, but I'll let you know what AI is because you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
It is crap.
But thank you for listening. And sometimes every once in a while, you got to call somebody out, and you do, and it probably is not going to change this person's art or the way they proceed to make their money, because they're making money. And that's, at the end of the day, I understand what people are looking to do.
But hopefully if you're listening, you support real artists and human
I hope
artists.
so. And especially
don't buy AI art.
Here at LPN, we are all completely against any of that, and you'll never see it touching any of our work.
Yeah. Don't buy AI art. Don't like post little AI cartoons of yourself doing stuff. It's just like, is that worth it? It's just
I
not
gotta
worth
be
it.
me. Let me be me.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that the beautiful part? Like, we as all human beings, we're all very different. And I know that I make my jokes that I call myself a monster effer because I don't want to F human beings anymore. But also, I'd like the human beings that do exist to be making their own artwork. Thank you. That's it. And also, yeah, I am going to throw out just a minor B situation that I included in this list. The fact that kitten heels are making a comeback. Can we just say kitten heels are the B? Can we just—
Is that true?
I have been seeing them everywhere, Kara. I am seeing them on the feetsies of our celebs.
Yeah.
The kitten heels with where it looks like a flip-flop, but then they just jam a little heel in the center of the heel of your foot for no reason. And I know, Jackie, that's what a high heel is. You're right. But there's something about the let me just jam this little kitten in here. A little meow baby open,
Oh, God.
I just feel like they're
Kitten
hurt.
heels are very much back in style, it says.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Thank you for validating me, and thank you for
Not me. My ankles. I'll hit it.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
My ankle's going to go right over. There's no way.
They're no good for any of us. So I guess maybe that's what it is. Kitten heels are left for the youths. But I ain't doing that. I'm worried. Like, I don't even have plantar fasciitis, but I feel like I know enough people with plantar fasciitis, and I have a feeling that kitten heels don't help plantar fasciitis.
No, you can, that's the problem is like now I can't buy like anything good sandal wise for summer except like Birkenstocks.
Oh,
but I found a couple of other like brands that sell some cute stuff, but it ain't going to be a kitten heel. That
It ain't gonna be a kitten heel summer. I'll tell you what.
Not a kitten heel summer for me. No, thank you.
What kind of summer are you having then?
Well, I'm having a Brooks sneaker summer. I love my Brooks sneakers.
Oh, a rational summer. I had no idea.
But I'm also like I'm wearing
Brooks sneaker summer.
I wear these
hot.
Birkenstock. I wear the Birkenstocks that have like the one buckle. They seem a little bit more like instead of two, it's just one. And they seem like a little bit more of like a summer sandal type of thing instead of like, full. And I just bought some of those rubber Birkenstocks for the first time.
I just really leaned into my bisexuality and I just purchased my first pair of Blundstones. I've never had Blundstones before, and I'm going on a trip where I need like waterproof like day to night boots, and they are like
boots.
They're these like they're like Chelsea boots that everybody says they're like on all the Reddit buy it for life things of like if you need a boot that is good, it's like really like fairly water resistant, like it'll last you a really long time. You invest in a pair of Blundstones, and I went and I bought it, and I was just like, these are like the first rational pair of shoes I think I've purchased as an adult. And I'm like, it's crazy to me that people look at me, like young people look at me and think, oh, she's an adult. And like that I imagine this is a person I should respect or treat respectfully. And even today, I was getting my coffee in my drive-thru and I just went, fuck you, because I almost dropped the cup. And then I looked at the young man at the counter and I was like, not you, not fuck you. And he was just laughing at me and I was like, fuck the cups, right? Oh, fuck all the cups, right? And I forget that sometimes people look at me and expect me to not talk like that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, that's a full-grown woman right there. And I'm just not. I hate to break it to him. But I'm fine.
Oh my God. My daughter said to me yesterday, Mom, remember when you told us we could call cops pigs? And I go, no, I don't, because I didn't say that. I didn't say that. And I was like, I think I told you. She goes, Mom, you did say that. I go, no, I didn't. I go, I told you some people do that. I never advised you do that. She goes, well, I think you told me that I could. I go, if you want to go and think that I said that, enjoyed trying that. If you try that, you tell me how it goes.
You tell me how. Yeah, go tell a cop that. Yeah. Let me know how that goes for you,
It's not
babe.
gonna go good.
I did just write down. Kara definitely said Rosie can call cops pigs, so I did write that down in the show notes. So
I definitely didn't. I definitely didn't do that, and oh my God. Okay, I gotta get off the Blundstones website, and we need to start this episode. Okay,
all right. Thank you for everyone celebrating that I purchased a rational pair of shoes. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, let's get into our solicited advice. Thank you to everybody who submits. As a reminder, you can always submit stuff at who'sthebitch.com. And that's voicemails or emails, or you can DM us at who'sthebitchlpn on Instagram.
We love hearing from
Jackie, can you get us started with this first email?
Yes.
And this seems like it happened a few years ago and has been like a haunting.
Oh, an ongoing.
We need to weigh in because a lot of people have weighed in over the years, and we need to
Okay, it's our turn. All right, guys. It's like Rosie's turn. Rose's turn. That's Gypsy. Anyway, the musical. That's what the name of the musical is called. Hi, guys. I have an Am I the Bitch story that has divided people for years, and I'd love your take. Also, thank you for your amazing podcast. You guys are wonderful. Every episode brightens my boring week. XOXO. We love you, babe. Okay, guys. Years ago, my sister got married. How dare she? That's not what you said. At the time, we were very close. We spoke almost every day, and despite some family tensions, I considered her one of the most important people in my life. I was invited to the wedding and RSVP'd yes. At the time, I'd just gone through the end of a 9-year relationship and had recently moved. Money was extremely tight. The wedding was in a rural area, and because I don't drive, attending required flights from Sydney, taking leave from work, and arranging transport once I arrived. My sister initially seemed very understanding about my financial situation. The problem started when she wanted me to come earlier than the wedding date. At first, she was sympathetic, but when later I told her I genuinely couldn't afford to come as early as planned, things became tense. I told her I would still do my best to attend closer to the wedding itself. About a week before the wedding, we had our last real conversation. After that, I messaged her several times before the wedding and again on the day itself, but never received a reply. Despite the tension, I still attended because I'd already booked leave, paid for flights, and genuinely believed I was still welcome. On the wedding day, my dad drove me to the venue listed on the invitation. He wasn't invited, but I had no practical way of getting there otherwise. I arrived dressed for the wedding and found the venue completely closed and empty. Thinking I'd somehow made a mistake, I spoke to the staff there. They told me there was no wedding scheduled at that venue that day. I then messaged my uncle asking whether the venue had changed. He sent a message and deleted it before I could read it. After that, he never replied. My aunt never replied. My sister never replied. Nobody told me where the wedding was. On the drive home, we passed a church that appeared to be hosting a wedding and may have been where my sister's wedding was actually taking place. I considered going in, but by that point, nobody was answering me and I genuinely didn't know if I was welcome. I didn't want to interrupt a wedding ceremony or create a scene, so I left. That ended up being the last contact I ever had with my sister. She never contacted me afterwards, and neither did my aunt or uncle. Nobody ever explained what happened. The only confirmation I got that the wedding had gone ahead was seeing happy wedding photos afterwards. To this day, I still remember standing there dressed for my sister's wedding at an empty venue, wondering whether I'd somehow missed something or whether I simply wasn't wanted there. Some people tell me I should let it go because it happened years ago. Others think it was incredibly cruel. Extra content, I'm 32, she's 31 now, and this happened 3 years ago. XOXOX, Laura. I am at a loss for words, and you know that doesn't happen often here for me.
See, for me, there's information missing here. Like, I love you, Laura, but you gotta be leaving something out. Like, there's simply no way that no one's given you a single bit of information. Like, just 3 members of your family don't speak to you anymore? Are there cousins? Are there mutual friends between you and your sister? Anyone that was at the wedding? Like anyone that tells you what happened? Because like this isn't making sense to me.
Right, because even you said, so I went back through, right, so about a week before the wedding, we had our last real conversation. After that, I messaged her several times before the wedding and again on the day itself, but never received a reply. Okay, I gotta know what happened during the conversation. Did you guys end in a weird spot? Was it just literally a normal, everyday conversation about the wedding? And then what were those texts that you sent that you didn't receive any reply to? I am not saying this here. You must be at fault. We need to know more information about that time period to be able to properly see, because something happened and your sister either took something the wrong way or your sister was having a perspective that it was just not what you were giving. There was some kind of disconnect, because that just doesn't just happen. Like it can't just happen.
Like something else must have gone on. Like for you and your sister to be so close, talking all the time. You mentioned family tensions and you mentioned your dad not being invited to the wedding.
Right.
So I'm
tell
assuming
us more
there's
about
some stuff going on there.
And also the fact that you were so quick, not to say that you were so quick to, I'm saying you went to the wedding, so I understood like why all of this was happening, but that there was a feeling that you were not welcome there. Where did that come from? What were those final conversations that made you think, oh, I'm not welcome here? Because I do feel that if everything were hunky-dory, like let's say you're leading up to your sibling's wedding, everything's fine, and then I wouldn't think if I showed up and everybody was gone from the venue, my first thought wouldn't be, oh, what happened between, like, oh, I must not be welcome here. You know what I mean? The fact that, obviously, I'm not saying that's the first thing that you jumped to, but why were you feeling that? And why wasn't the dad invited? Do you feel it had something to do with that? Or were there issues with the dad? Then you assume that maybe you ended up getting lumped into that, especially because did you tell your sister, oh, dad's gonna have to take me though. That's the only way I can get there. Did that piss your sister off because he wasn't invited to the wedding? Like, something is in there that we're missing.
There's something missing here, I feel.
And we're not saying it's your fault. We just need to know a little bit more information, and I would love an update because, and you know what?
It is incredibly cruel. If it is just like, I mean, listen, we've read 1,000 Bridezilla things on this podcast before. So we've heard a lot of people say, my sister expected A, B, and when I didn't do it to her, she threw me out of the wedding. Of course, that's not impossible, but it's just like to completely not welcome you at the wedding anymore. Like I could understand de-bridesmaiding you if you couldn't be there early to help her or something like that.
Right. And
to just completely, and then to not
venue.
Even respond and say, like, yeah, I'm confused. Like, was there a wedding invitation? The wedding invitation you received had a venue on it that is not the venue of the wedding? Like, so other people would have received that invitation. I'm just like so confused by this.
And how was everyone else alerted that the venue changed?
And that she wouldn't have said to you afterwards, I really actually just thought you were really being careless, even though I don't think that is like a commensurate response, like for what you've done, like to not be able to get there early. I would like, even if she had these reasons, to not say them to you or tell your uncle to tell you or tell your aunt to tell you or something. And now suddenly a bunch of members of your family are just not speaking to you and you've got zero information in the last 3 years. I don't know. It just is not, this is not making sense to me.
No,
so I can't even weigh in because it is both incredibly cruel.
Yes.
And I would never tell you to let it go because I'm not getting all the information.
All the information.
Definitely.
And I would throw it out there, no matter what, you are valid in thinking that it is cruel to show up for a wedding and not having been told that the venue had been changed. Like, you made all of that way, like you got all the way there, no matter what, at the end of the day, this, outside of it being a huge miscommunication, which I don't think it was because this happened 3 years ago, this is a cruel thing that happened to you.
Yes.
And like this, it is something, if you were intentionally left out of communication, if you were like, no matter what you went through is not okay.
Like, even if she had some kind of breakdown where she was like, I hate my whole immediate family. I don't want them at the wedding. I don't want my dad there. I don't want my sister there. I hate them all. You would still think an aunt or uncle would say, listen, she was having some feelings about the family at the last minute and really just wanted to do it with a few friends.
Right, because why weren't the aunt and uncle responding?
Yes, and they never responded. That's what's so weird.
We have so many questions. I want to know so much more.
Yeah.
Please let us know.
Please let us know. And I would love to weigh in on this. I feel like I need other information. I feel like you and your sister must have been fighting about something else. There's like, do you not live near each other? Like, is there a way that you like in 3 years I would have swung by my sister's house and been like, why are you not
What's
speaking
going
to
on?
Me? Why are you not like, how come I showed up at your wedding and, I took time off work. I came to this part of I think it's Australia, right?
Yeah, because they were talking, or they're at least talking about Sydney, or at least like, I'm assuming that they are far away. But I do also feel like there are certain, and I'm talking about either friends or family members, that there are certain people that it's so confusing that I feel like I would get pushed to I'll fly there and show up on your doorstep. There's like, talk to me. You have to talk to me at some point. And I'm not recommending that for everybody in every situation. I'm not saying that. I just feel like in a sibling situation, as someone that like, I get so desperate in fighting with a sibling because I, love my siblings so much that I feel like I would be like, I will fly there and we will figure this out if I have to,
Totally.
But
or other people in the family are like, why aren't you guys talking? Why are you guys talking? Like, so it's just,
I gotta know more information. Please let us know.
Yeah, please let us know, Laura. I feel like, because if you write us back and you say, actually, there's no other information, this is exactly how it worked out, then I would honestly have nothing to say except that your sister is having
deeply
some
troubled,
kind of
I'm assuming,
extreme like breakdown, and this is like unspeakably cruel.
Yes.
Like for you to fly into town for your sister's wedding and not be there and not be answered
showing
and not
up,
have the
venue was changed.
The decency to just even give you the venue's been moved and unfortunately like we
don't have
couldn't
space
have you there.
For it's like even some like bullshit,
something.
Yeah.
Like some explanation. This is like out of control. Let us know. But let's get to our first voicemail.
Okay.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Ladies, I am so obsessed with this podcast. I need you to put it out 7 days a week, please. Jackie, I love you so much, but I actually heard Kara first. Way back on the My Favorite Murder podcast, telling the story of Gypsy Lee Rose. And it was the first time that I had ever heard that story. And Kara, your telling of it lives rent-free in my head ever since.
Whoa.
It was an amazing
I'm
experience.
glad it does. I don't remember.
I
love you guys so much. Okay. Bitch-uation. Am I the bitch for hiring a secret cleaning lady? My husband and I both work full time and we live in Canada, so the summers are like devastatingly short. And I am a summer girl. I need to be outside as much as possible.
Yes, bitch.
So I'm not spending my Saturdays scrubbing our dumb apartment when the weather is nice. Any other time of the year, I don't mind. I keep our apartment super clean. But it's the summer and I only have 2 days off a week. So I need to shake my ass in the sun.
Yes.
So I brought it up with my husband. He thinks that it's unnecessary spending and offered to help clean more, but we all know that that's not a solution.
Is he going to do that?
I don't know. I argued like we can definitely afford it. It would only be for the summer. The good weather goes away and I'll gladly clean our place. I don't care. But anyway, he never straight up said no. So I kind of just hired one. He knows now. He thinks that she comes once a month, but she actually comes every 2 weeks. He literally hasn't noticed for the entire month of June. And every single time, every 2 weeks when I get home from work and I get to just look at all the shit she cleaned in my apartment, it makes me unbelievably happy.
I bet it does.
So am I the bitch for not being all the way honest about the frequency of our cleaning lady? Like, maybe double what I'm telling my husband. Help. Okay. Love you, ladies. Bye.
Oh my God, obsessed. This reminds me of when this reminds me of when I got Botox and I just didn't tell Jared for like weeks. And then I was like, do you notice anything about my face? Because he's so anti-Botox. He's so anti any plastic surgery. And he's like, you're perfect. You're perfect. And I'm like, okay.
But did you notice?
And I was like, he's like, did you get your eyebrows done? I go, no. And then eventually I was like, I got a little bit of subtle Botox in my forehead. And he was like, oh, okay. He, because he thought that Botox was like getting a facelift and looking like Jocelyn Wildenstein, the cat lady.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
and you have like a separate flesh mask that you have on over your face, which is not the case.
So like for me, you've done nothing wrong.
No.
You basically he basically is okay with a cleaning lady coming 3 times and you're having her come 6 times. That's like really not that dishonest. And I don't know how you guys do your finances, but if you both work full time, I would be perfectly fine if we both worked full time saying, well, this actually brings me a ton of joy and affords me the ability to do activities that I want to do for this time of year. So I'm paying for it. Like, that's it. Like it can come out of my money, whether you guys do our money. If he doesn't agree with it, that's fine. But he's also not going to help you keep the house clean.
This is the thing. I feel like it should be the opposite. I actually feel like I would go to him and be like, here's the thing. The phrase is unseen labor, right? How much unseen labor goes on in this home? The fact that he didn't even realize that was even happening more than usual. And I dare say, I think that you should go to him and say, because usually I do the unseen labor for free in our relationship. So how about you pay for the unseen labor for the summer, and then the rest of the time you won't have to pay me to do all of the unseen labor that I usually am already taking care of.
Yeah.
I think that someone and I say this and not in a gendered issue. Usually, oftentimes, there is one person in a relationship that does more of the at-home taking care of the cleaning.
Yeah.
And if it falls on you, whatever you got to do to get that done and whatever you are able to do to be able to get that done, I think that the other partner should shut the mouth. I think we don't hear from them because unfortunately, and it's not even, and I'm not saying, oh, because your husband's not doing X. I'm just saying one person usually takes on more of the unseen labor to control, to keep everything moving. And whatever you need to do to be able, and if you can financially get help to do something like that, you do it. You shouldn't even have to explain about the short Canada summers.
He absolutely does something in his life. He does something with your guys' money that is just for his pure joy.
Yes.
He does. He must. Right?
And that's even sad that this is pure
just
joy.
joy.
This isn't joy.
Yeah.
This is a rational. This is a choice of where you put your money in your household.
Joy. She said she gets joy from seeing the house clean.
So you're right. You're right.
So
you're
if
right,
you are
Kara.
saying, so if he's arguing with you, you go, you spend money on going to XYZ sporting event. I'm making it so like heteronormative, but like you spend money on this, you spend money on that. What is bringing me joy is having the house clean so I can spend my summers doing XYZ. And honestly, keep the cleaning lady on in the winter. Like I keep my house very clean as well, but there are certain things I don't have time for. I don't have time to scrub bathtubs or floors or toilets.
Getting into
and the cleaning people come and they do this. Yeah, they do the more hardcore, deep clean stuff that I just don't have time for and honestly am no good at. And that's a household price, and saying it's not worth the money or it's bad spending is crazy. Sorry, crazy.
I understand where the idea of like that I feel that I'm keeping this and especially because that you're having the extra time every month. But honestly, I feel like at this point you either tell your partner or you don't. If you're paying with it for like with your money, what does it matter? And if this comes from the pool of both of you, you can tell him. I don't think you need to ask him, but like you've already talked to him about it. You already know that this is happening. And you're right. Canada summers are short. Go out and live them, B. Go live them loud. All right, we only have so many weeks of being alive, okay? We have to enjoy whatever we can when we can. All right.
I say even beyond that, you both work full time. If you want to have somebody come and you can't afford it, if you want to have someone come every 2 weeks, which is what I do every 2 weeks. I don't have someone come every week or every other day. Like I don't have a live-in housekeeper, but you know what I mean? Like every 2 weeks, I think having someone come and just like take care of your space, it's like so de-stressing for me, and I'm sure for you, and it's a household expense. I'm sorry.
I refer to it also as like the to-do list noise. And I think that people that don't run a household don't understand that it's like that there is, like in a career, there's always the to-do list and of what needs to get done and the priority and how the priorities change over time. It just helps take in. I feel like there's a lot of conversation about food noise recently, especially with like GLP-1s and stuff like that. But what about chore noise? I feel like we don't talk about like looking around your home and being like, oh God, I got to get that done. I got to get that done. I got to get that done. I got that. Whatever can reduce the chore noise also helps.
Yes.
Chore noise is a bad phrase, I think, for it, because it does sound like, I don't know, I'm chewing on some kind of like turtle's body. Chore noise.
Chore noise.
Yeah, but
yeah, definitely thank you for submitting, and I hope you have had a wonderful Canadian summer shaking your ass in the sun.
Yes, and don't forget to put some sunscreen on that perineum.
I don't think this is a very, like, he has not come to you, he has not, like, I'm not gonna like promote lying to your partner, but like if he hasn't come to you and asked the logistics, and if he doesn't sit there and do, like, I do all of the like financing in our house.
Right.
Like, I know what everything costs. So Jared's not gonna come to me and go, so how much are we spending on this cleaning lady, really? Because it's like, I'm doing all of that.
Can you imagine
don't like
if
the
he
way
did?
that this has been
Can you
done.
imagine the look of like, oh, you want to talk about how much money I spend on that cleaning lady?
I mean, sometimes he'll be like, can we afford this? And I'm like, yes, I wouldn't have done it if we couldn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like, cause please, I've got a spreadsheet of my bills dating back to 2006.
Yes,
don't test me.
You do.
Don't test me.
Kara. See, and you wonder why we're
2004, 2004. I can't believe I lied.
2004? Kara, my God.
You just start a new tab every month. And mine goes back 21 years.
If you looked at how I ran my life, Kara, you'd just be like, how are you existing? Barely. We'll figure things out.
But okay, let's get to our next email.
Let's do it.
Hey ladies, love you both. This pod is one of the highlights of my week, even if I get dragged for the submission.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
I have a medium stakes situation that I really need your help with. To start, I already know I'm the bitch for a lot of this.
Love it.
Okay. About 5 years ago, I was going through a divorce. For the record, my ex-husband and I are actually still great friends. He's just better friends with alcohol and drugs.
Understood.
During the divorce, I started hooking up with a longtime friend I'll call Matt. Matt was and still is married. Yes, I know. Trust me, I know. At the time, he kept telling me he was getting divorced, and that's how I justified continuing the relationship. In the 8 years I've known him, I've never even met his wife.
Whoa.
Over the years, we've hooked up on and off, but eventually feelings developed. Matt has told me he loves me. I've spent a lot of time with him and his kids, and this stopped feeling like just an affair a long time ago. Except, guess who's still married? Yup, Matt. For the last several months, I've been trying to create some distance because I finally realized that I can't keep living like this. He's constantly complaining about his wife, saying he hates his marriage and that he's quote unquote staying for the kids. About 6 months ago, I finally told him we needed to end things. It wasn't an ultimatum, and I never told him he had to leave his wife. I just said I couldn't keep doing this anymore. He responded by telling me he loved me and that he was finally going to start figuring out an exit plan. Fast forward to now. Matt has been talking for months about taking his kids to Italy, or so I thought. He recently let it slip that his wife is going too, a detail he somehow managed to leave out of every single conversation we'd had about this trip. And honestly, that really hurt.
Yeah.
I know I don't exactly have the moral high ground here. I knowingly got involved with a married man, so I don't get to be shocked when he's acting like a married man. But I also feel like I've been lied to for years. He's been lying to his wife, lying to me, telling us both completely different stories, and somehow expecting this arrangement to keep working forever. So here's my who's the bitch lineup. Am I the bitch for feeling hurt that he's taking his family vacation and intentionally hid the fact that his wife was going? Is Matt the bitch for lying to both of us and stringing me along with promises that never seem to materialize? And finally, am I the bitch for not telling his wife? Part of me feels like she deserves to know. The other part of me knows I'd be blowing up an entire family, and I'm not sure whether that would be for her benefit. I know I made terrible choices to get here, so I'm not looking for sympathy. I just genuinely can't tell whether I'm justified in feeling hurt or if this is simply the consequences of my own actions catching up with me. SOS, ladies, Lee. Lee.
Oh my gosh.
This is such a bad situation.
It's a bad situation.
Here's the thing. You definitely, I'm not gonna, call you names like that you haven't called yourself already. You definitely have made some bad decisions here.
We beat ourselves up enough.
Yes, you've made some bad decisions here, but this guy is a jackass. Like, this is a bad guy. This is a guy who has been stringing you along. And when you finally got up the strength to say, I'm done with this, just fed you more lies. And of course you're hurt because you bought it again.
Yeah.
So I'm not even mad. Like, right now, you've beat yourself up for the affair enough. And I'm going to, I'm telling you now, I think the affair is bad. I don't think affairs are good. But now I'm upset for you because I feel like you're still buying his
lies.
Bullshit. You need to literally block this man's number and stop talking to him. Like, the fact that he has let you get involved with his kids. Who do his kids think you are?
That's what
Who do his kids think you are? Just like a
want to
friend?
know. Yes. Like, how have the interactions with the kids, like, Matt's the B here. I mean, definitely, hands down, he's the biggest B I have ever remembered, always remembered. And because he's been lying to you this entire time. And he's not staying together for the kids. He probably, there's a reason he likes his wife. Otherwise, he would have figured out a way to, I guess, take this trip. Is it that he just doesn't want to deal with it? I feel like I've talked to friends who have, weirdly enough, genuinely have been in similar situations where it's that you haven't made it enough of it. Like, he gets his cake and he eats it too. He gets to have the whole family. He gets to have you on his side. He gets all of it. So why would he blow up his life like that?
Why?
Lazy,
why do any of that? Why even do
pathetic,
the paperwork?
It's a huge ick because he's not taking care of. That is a lie that he's staying in it for the kids. No, he's staying in it for himself because it would be too annoying and too much of a hassle. And then his wife is going to find out he's had an affair, and then she's going to take him for all that he's fucking worth. And he doesn't want that to happen. And then he gets you, Lee. Be angry about this situation.
You're definitely not. You're not a B for being hurt, though, because he tells you how much he doesn't like the wife all the time. He tells you he doesn't like his wife. He tells you this and that. And then he's like, actually, she's hopping along on this trip of a lifetime to Italy with my kids, So,
but also that makes sense, right? Because they're in a family and because they were going on a family vacation. And for him to even doing the whole I'm doing this trip for the kids. I'm doing this. Oh yeah. Also that pesky wife that I still have for 8 years is coming along.
But I think you're lying to yourself a little bit that you didn't know his wife was going to go. You didn't think his wife was going on a trip to Italy.
She's going to go to the trip to Italy.
Unless they're living in some kind of or he told me that they're basically separated, just living together because of financial reasons. But so why would I ever think she's going on the trip? That's a little bit different.
Yes.
If they are living together and you think she doesn't know about you at all and they're not openly dating other people, of course she's going on this damn trip. Of course.
Yes. And it's just... You're so right, Kara, because this would be a completely different situation if they were separated, if they were living and they were just legally still married. I just want everyone to know that that situation completely different. This is not that. They are still seemingly in a full living together family. And I think, Lee, hopefully this is the moment that you start living for Lee and not living for Matt. Or what was his name? Matt? Whatever stupid.
Yeah, Matt.
Oh, yes.
Matt.
We're not living for this. Because I feel like, you didn't even say this, but it's been so many years that at some point, don't you look at your life, Lee, and think, you're arrestedly developing my life now? And that's why I start getting that anger up a little bit more of like, you're screwing around with my time. We only have one go around, babe. Don't waste your time with someone that's not, and like eventually, and also he doesn't choose you. He's not choosing you. And you don't deserve that.
He's actively not.
He's not.
Yeah. And it's been 5 years and he's holding you back from finding your next big relationship if that's
Someone
something
that
you're
does
looking
choose
for.
you. If that's what you want.
Yeah. But now let's get into whether we think you should tell his wife.
That
I don't know. We've had this conversation before on this pod where people are like, should I tell the guy that I was hooking up with or cheating? He was cheating. Should I tell her? In my mind, there's no freaking way that this woman doesn't know somehow that he's been having an affair with you for 5 years. Like she's got to, like it's subconscious. I feel like she has to know. And I guess know.
You in this situation, Kara, you find out that
you to blow up the life of the dad because he's a dick.
Right. That's the thing. Like, let's say you're in this situation. You find out Jared has been doing this. Like, would you want to find out from the person? Because I feel like part of me, like as Lee, I would want to go to Matt and be like, you're going to tell her. You're going to tell her. And this needs that. I'm not going to be with you anymore, but also you need to tell her. And
let's be careful, unless you think he might hurt you or something. Like, I just want to make sure, like,
well, yeah,
he's not, like,
no,
like,
this can also be done
like,
over
if
the
you threaten
phone.
to blow up his entire life.
I'm saying, yes, I'm saying over the phone kind of thing. But like, I also don't know, have you guys ever had that conversation before? Have you ever said, you need to do this? Like, not that ultimatums are usually ever very good, but I do feel like in situations like this, it is you need to choose me. We're not poly. We're not in an open relationship. This is, you need to choose me. I wouldn't at this point go to him and ask him to choose me. I feel for me, I would feel you haven't, and I'm done.
You basically did. You didn't give an ultimatum. You said, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. And he was like, I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out. And he acted like he was going to choose you. And he strung you along for 6 more months while he planned a trip to Italy with his whole family.
You're the queen of the letter, though. How do you feel about a letter being like, because also, I guess question 2, Lee, how old are the kids? And I know that
They've got to be old enough,
right?
If they're taking him to freaking Italy, and he's been with his wife for 8 years, and he's been with he's been having this affair for like 5. So I would imagine these kids are like my kid's age or something like that. And like, I don't know, like, I'm sorry, your parents not being married is not the end of the world.
No, in fact, if they hate each other and they're actively hurting each other, that's way worse for the children.
This poor woman living a lie is worse to me. Like you asked me, Jackie, what I want someone to tell me. I would be so furious if I found out that Jared was having an affair, and I would be more furious that he was not
the one
man
that
enough to tell me.
Exactly.
And that his side piece was.
Exactly.
That you had her come to me. She has a bigger like conscience than the man I spent my life raising children with. Like that would infuriate me, but I would probably be grateful. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. I it's like everybody's so different.
It really depends on the situation. It depends. Because like, even like you've never met this woman, you don't know. And it's so hard to genuinely, I would want to know, but also how do you not feel the guilt of I'm ruining this woman's life, even though you're not? It's the husband. It's him.
He made the choice for his family.
Ruined his family. He's the one that ruined his family. So I feel that it shouldn't be on Lee to have to talk to the wife about it.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. I just feel sad that he's just going to, when him and Lee break up, he's going to find some other side piece, and the wife's going to keep being in the dark, and that just sucks. Like, I feel for the wife.
Maybe we, it's like a Misery type situation. Did you ever see the movie Misery where he's in the bed and then with the ankles? Maybe it's one of those where it's not that it's not a forever. We just hobble him. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those where you got to learn a lesson.
Just a gentle hobbling
somehow. Yeah. Just a gentle one. I'm not recommending violence. I would imagine though getting to a place where you'd want to hobble them. and just be like,
But
I
let
just
me
want you to
just-
remember.
Let me just say to anybody who is out there in a relationship with somebody who's staying married and keeps telling you that they're going to leave their person for you, but they're not doing it. If they can afford a freaking trip to Italy, they can afford a divorce probably. And stop letting men have their cake and eat it too. Like he likes the arrangement as it is. That's it.
And he doesn't have to change
He
it.
tells you he loves you because that's the way to keep you. Like, he doesn't act like a person who loves you.
I'm sorry, Lee. No, he
Yes.
doesn't. He's not. And we hate to break this to you. You got to choose Lee. It's time to leave this F in the dust, dude.
Tell him you be like, I'm taking a break. I don't want to talk to you. Like, don't speak to him for at least 6 months. Block his number. And if he somehow gets in touch with you to tell you that he got divorced, like maybe you guys are soulmates. I doubt it. He seems like a piece of shit, to be honest. But
because even then, Carol, would you
gotta
want
block
it then?
him. You gotta get this guy out.
Would you want it then? Because I feel like if I did the block and then 6 months from now, and he's like, I did it, I left her, I'd be like, too little, too late.
Yeah.
Sorry. I guess then go get to know yourself. Time for you to get to know yourself then.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like
Get
Matt
out
fucking
there,
knows
Lee,
himself.
and start dating someone that will choose you, like Jackie said.
Yes. You deserve better, babe.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. And listen, we're all human. People get into these situations.
You can only beat yourself up for so long. Okay.
Yeah.
Also remember that too. You've already, I'm sure, been beating yourself up for it, but it's also time for you to choose you.
Oh, keep us updated, Lee. Let's listen to our next voicemail.
Okay.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi, guys. I have a little update and then also a new situation. So my first situation was really low stakes, and it was just that my husband kept pooping in the bathroom that is our bedroom, which is also my office. I know I should have talked to him like you guys said, but I just couldn't do it. So their route and got like an office space outside of the house.
Wow.
Which is crazy, but it kind of works really well, and I have my own space, so it's fine.
That's great. That works too.
My new situation is so I am a wedding photographer, which has been great. I just went full time fairly recently, a year ago. And I love it. I make so much more than my desk job, which was 9 to 5, regular, and paid poverty wages. And now I made a normal salary.
Wow.
Well, not salary, but yeah. Anyway, the problem is that I work every single Saturday, every single Saturday for most of the year except for the winter. And my husband is we have a 2-year-old, and it's just not that interested in taking care of her, I guess. We have a sweet nanny who can come on Saturdays sometimes, but not every Saturday. So sometimes, she can't come, and then he has to take over. And he just, every time I ask him to do it, I get all these groans and moans about it, and how he had a concert to go to, or his friends, or he needed to work, or whatever it is. But I don't know, I feel I'm not really being a bitch by pursuing my passion and making way more money, contributing to our household much more significantly. But I know that it is kind of hard for me to be gone every single Saturday. And we already made a compromise that I wouldn't work on Sundays, so we can have family days on Sundays or whatever. So I'm already not taking any weddings on Sundays, but I'm fine with that because, I'm fine with having a family day. But Saturdays are my big ticket days.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Am I being a bitch for being gone every single Saturday? Should I book less? It's a blessing that I'm getting so many bookings, but yeah, I see his point of view, I guess, but I do kind of think he's being a bitch for being so negative about hanging out with her kid. And I don't know what to do about that. And if that's a normal dad thing, or he claims he isn't, but anyway, thank you. Bye.
Listen.
Oh, wow. I'm infuriated.
Yeah.
Please, after you, I mean, you're the one with the kids, so.
I'm just gonna say that, like, I have gone through this with my husband as well. Like,
I'm sure.
When I was in a position where I was touring more and I would have to be out of town for like a week or like a few days in a row, and like we would have a really busy section of the year, and every time I asked him, he'd be like, yeah. He would say yes, but he would like roll his eyes and he would like sigh and moan and groan, and it drove me insane. And we had to have conversations about it over and over and over again until it finally stopped, because I was like, this is my job and I have to do this. And if it was his job, this wouldn't even be a conversation. It would be just like an expectation. Do you know what I mean? The fact that you even have a nanny that's picking up the slack some Saturdays is a great option. And you guys are fortunate that you have that.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't, one day a week, babe, you got to stay with the kid. And you know what? If your business grows and grows, you'll probably hire another photographer. And then like, you'll probably have people like working underneath you. You know what I mean? But like, that's that. Like, if your wife is an ER doctor, they're going to have to work some overnights and you got to pick up the slack.
Right.
This guy had a kid with you thinking you were going to really like handle most of the parenting stuff. And now, surprise. And you just have to keep talking to him. And I know it was hard for you to talk to him about the poop in the bathroom situation. I mean, the pooping while you're working thing. But like, you got to have a conversation. Like, his point of view is like, I'm not getting to do my free time stuff because you're working. And it's just like, no, there are compromises when you have a child. And I guess you shouldn't book any concerts on a Saturday until you check the family calendar and find out if Sylvia, I'm making up your nanny's name, if she's available, find out if your mom's available, find out if like a family member or someone's available so that you can go to your concert, because your wife will not be available because she's working.
Can I just say how crazy it is? And I'm saying this as a childless person, but
child-free. You're a child-free person.
Thank you. Okay. Different. It's new verbiage now.
You are free of
I'm
children. It's not anything less.
Oh my God. You know what, Garrett? Thank you. And I'm not going to burst into tears for you saying that. I appreciate you saying that. I'm a child-free person.
There's nothing less in your life. You're just child-free.
Thank you. And I appreciate that.
I am pet-free.
Thank you.
Pet-free.
And I'm child-free. I just hear so many people I am speaking specifically of the heterosexual couples that I know, that I hear the male referred to watching the kid as babysitting, as, oh, I got to go babysit. And I have never heard the mother referred to watching the child that is both of their child as babysitting, as if it's this extra work. And the amount of complaining I have had to hear from male counterparts of like, oh, and then I gotta watch the kid on a Saturday, and then and I don't know how most people with vaginas don't just sew them up permanently when they hear things like this, because the idea of that and truly, even when we were talking about the unseen labor, it's part of what keeps me specifically from biologically having a child, because I know I'll never be able to get over the fact that he didn't have to do it. And I don't think I would be able to continue loving a man having gone through that, knowing that he didn't have to do that. That's my own burden, all right? This is something I confess here. Because hearing this conversation, I don't know how you don't put a pillow over them as they sleep next to you, because you have to beg from him to go work, to go make more money for your family, to go provide even more. Not only that, you have chosen half of your big work days, Saturday and Sunday, to already not work, to dedicate to your family. You are giving so much, he doesn't even have to do it every Saturday. I don't understand the huffing and the puffing, and I have no patience for it. None. And I'm really proud of you that you don't scream every time this happens, because I have no patience for it. And I happen to have married a man that does not huff and puff, because I have, again, no patience for it. I don't, you're not my teenager. Do not react that way when I ask you to do something when we run a life together. Okay?
Yeah.
We don't raise a child alone. Like we're doing this together. And I think that sometimes portions of a relationship forget that means all of it. And right?
And I think it's also possible that because you were doing a different kind of job when you guys met, when you first had your kid, maybe, like he was like, well, things were one way.
Right.
And that's fair. Okay. Things have changed, but you need to sit down and have a conversation and be like, this isn't just like a cute little hobby where I go take pictures on the weekend. This is like my bread and butter. Like, this is my passion. I love doing this. I want to grow my business. And unfortunately, and I'm going to be honest, I'm assuming that like spring, summer is probably like your most hardcore,
Huge.
like where you're the busiest. Like, I'm already not taking Sundays, which is like probably cutting in to your like business,
and your
if people do get married on Sundays. So say I'm already reserving Sunday for family day, but we have to just get on board with Saturday is my big day. We can go through the calendar together every like month or a few months ahead and say, okay, this day we're going to have Sylvia. Again, I've named your nanny. We're going to have this, we're going to have that.
Right. Go through the full month.
But like these XYZ days are going to be days where it's just you and our child. And like, he needs to just get right with that.
But
Because
I
that's
also,
like, yeah.
I think you're so right, Kara, too. And if you go over the month with him of like, so then you get 1 or 2 days, then he can, whatever he wants to do. 1 or 2 of those Saturdays, he gets to, you get Sylvia in there, he gets to do, but you make it clear.
I mean, like we do trade-offs all the time too, where I'm like, I know I'm going to be gone this whole weekend. So if you want to do a couple things this week after like bedtime or even before bedtime, if you want to take a couple evenings, I'll do bedtime and this, like you take a day that you're not super busy with your job maybe, and he can go have beers with the guys after work or something. You know what I mean? Like, I do want to make it feel like he's not feeling like, oh, I work 5 days a week and then every Saturday I take care of my kid all day. And then like my only real like day of relaxation is Sunday or whatever. But like, he has to support you. That's part of, the whole marriage agreement. And
especially on your days off for the person, calling in too, where it's like on your days off, you're also doing a bunch of other stuff. I imagine, like, does he know that I imagine if you have 2 days off, that one of those days I'm sure is completely filled with chores and things that you have to get done for your home. And then the other day is the mandatory family day. Also reminding him that your other day off is also then filled with work. And this is a part of raising a family together. And this is part of building and growing together is navigating these kinds of scheduling. Because I imagine, Kara, as the kid gets older, the scheduling just gets harder. I would assume, as the kid then becomes busy, and then you're doing things with the kids and you got to run them to soccer and you got to run them to this and you got to, but you have to get used to, I'm assuming, that taking turns now. I imagine that in the first 2 years, it's probably hard to get into that rhythm, but probably what you guys both need is that schedule that Kara was talking about.
Yeah, like I have a friend who's like an anesthesiologist, and like her husband is always the one taking the kids to the birthday parties on the weekend. I always see him. And like, okay. Like I would think the same thing if one of the people in the relationship is like a fireman, firewoman, and has to like go to be at the firehouse overnight, and they're not going to be at like the bingo night we always do on Saturdays. I'm really coming up with bad examples of stuff today, but I'm just saying, like,
well, I'm a firewoman and I can't be at the bingo.
Yeah, I'm a firewoman and I cannot make it to bingo. How dare you? I'm just saying, like, this is compromise, and like it is very, whether he knows it or not, it is kind of misogynistic and like patriarchal to like moan and groan about your wife's career cutting into your free time because of a child and expecting.
I'm sorry.
It's just it's like whether he realizes it or not. And I had to explain, and I'm telling you, like, I've been where you are. Like, I had to explain it to my husband and be like, and he's like, I'm just making a face because it's like annoying. I have to figure out what to do with them. And I'm like, yeah, as I do all the time.
Yeah.
Like, when he goes out of town, I don't say a word. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't say a word. So it's like, it has to be a team, and it has to not just be like, oh, well, I have my concerts and my things with my friends. You should get those things, but we have to plan.
We got to plan for it. We got to plan.
Like, and if he has some big weekend coming up that's like a golf weekend, again, I'm being like so heteronormative.
Then you
if he has some big thing, then maybe that's a weekend that he tells you about months in advance, and you don't take a day that day. Like you absolutely can say like, I'm willing to make some concessions for you, but you can't act like I'm not going to be busy. I'm going to be busy every Saturday in June, July, and August. Sorry. Like, that's it. Like, that's good. Like the wedding season. That's my high season. A lot of people have jobs like this. My friend's freaking husband is a lobster fisherman. Do you think she sees him in the summer? No, she doesn't see his ass in the summer.
No,
like,
he's
that's
only
just
seeing
the way
lobsters.
that yeah, but that's the way that they work it out. Like, and then during the school year, she's a teacher, so she's more busy. You know what I mean? Like, you have to work it out.
You have to
give and take, baby, not take.
No.
So please talk to him, have a sit down about it, because I get it. Even if my husband agrees to do the stuff, but he's still huffing and puffing, it drives me insane. And it makes me feel guilty when I'm doing it. Even though I'm out and I'm doing my show and I'm having a good time and I'm making money for my family, I feel guilty because my husband was whinging about it. So get him, like, he needs to get on board, and the attitude has to get right.
Also remind him, he's not your second child. He's your partner. And there's a reason why you're called my partner. You're not my child. Thank you so much.
Yes. Jackie, will you read our final email, please?
Yes, I will, Kara. Hello, ladies. I've been listening since day one and love everything you do. Well, thank you so much. I've circled back and done every episode twice now and look forward to a new one every week. Ironically, I'm writing this on a couple of glasses of wine, so I hope it makes sense. I bet it will, baby. So my question is, would I be the bitch if I end a relationship with someone because he got a DWI? Details. Okay. I've been seeing / talking to this guy. It's a little complicated. We don't live close, so we see each other once, maybe twice a week, and spend the night together once a month. I have always been totally fine with this because I love my independence and alone time, so it works for me. Yes, bitch. It's been a little over a year. We've told each other everything and said, I love you, yada, yada. We've had some great times. I genuinely cared about him. A couple of weeks ago, I got a message from him at about 11 p.m. on a Friday after not hearing from him for hours that just said, not me getting arrested for a DUI. My immediate reaction is, what? Are you okay? What happened? ... Then radio silence until Monday morning. Anyway, he's fine. He got his car stuck. Cops showed up. No one was hurt, luckily. Oh my God. He's going through the legal process now and will definitely lose his job if this goes on his record. I was trying to be supportive even though that shit is so dangerous. Hello, Uber. He's expressing remorse and we were talking about it over lunch and he just casually drops, when I got my first DUI. Excuse me? Your what? He has gotten one previously about 8 years ago, and it's still on his record. So it's very unlikely the courts will go lightly on this one. I have gotten just a wild ick ever since then and find it hard to even talk to him. Admittedly, I've been short and distant because I don't know how to say, I don't believe you'll get out of it like you think you will. I feel like I'm kicking a guy when he's down if I say how I feel. He'll probably lose his job, in turn his house. If it was for another reason, I'd be happy to support and help. But something so reckless and frankly stupid just has me rethinking everything. My dad was an abusive alcoholic. One of my good friends was killed by a drunk driver in college, and he knows all of this. Just get an Uber or Lyft. Ray, for context, I'm upper 30s. He's low 40s. No, I can't understand you more, Ray. Yeah. I cannot understand you more. Talk about
I
that
think it's also like,
wow.
Besides the fact that I think that this is like hitting on some past like triggers for you, like
for sure.
This loss that you have, and this like this relation, like,
and the trauma you have
of
being raised,
yes.
of course.
On top of that, it's just like, he just didn't, you guys have been talking for a year. You've been hanging out for a year and saying, I love you. And he's never told you he got a DUI before. And then when he does do it, it's like 2 days goes by after he tells you. 2 days goes by, you don't hear anything. Like, was he in jail, like lock up the whole weekend?
Right.
Like, obviously not if he was able to text you really quickly. Like, he could have just said, I'm okay, the police are about to take my phone. I don't know.
Anything, like, just say something.
Say whatever. But
also,
like, so that's making you feel probably like he's hiding things from you.
Yeah.
And like, he doesn't have his life together. He's not making good decisions. And he's also like not communicating and being responsible in a lot of ways. That would make me feel really like unprotected and really like, oh, you're just like doing crazy crap. And then like texting me one little, like honestly, not me getting a DUI is a joke. That's a joke. And he's treating it like a joke.
And he's treating it like a joke. And there is nothing funny about any of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing. And the fact, thank you so much for the context of I'm upper 30s, he's low 40s, because at first when you're like, okay, he got a DUI 8 years ago, in my head, I was trying to give the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, what was he, 18? What was he? I was like, oh, okay, this is, and not that it's even, that would still even be okay. But the fact that he is in his early 40s and he's treating this like this,
yeah. I mean, it's tough because it's like,
I wouldn't want to talk to this person anymore. Like, if, let's say, and I'm saying this, someone in their early 40s, you get a DWI, your whole life is starting to be ruined, and you're just like, I can't, like, you hate yourself, and you're putting yourself through the ringer, and not that I'm saying I would immediately leave that person, but there would have to be a lot of therapy if you if you treated it with this, I can't believe I did this, I hate myself. Like, there is therapy, there are ways in which of like, why did we get here? How did we do this? Not me getting a DUI.
Well, and also just like when people focus on how they're going to get out of the DUI and not necessarily why they got it, what led them to that. Like, I had a friend that got one and was like, we'd always known that there'd been like an alcohol problem there. And it didn't cause any self-reflection. It was literally just like, well, my lawyer thinks I'm going to be okay because like I've never done anything like this and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, but you've been having a weird relationship with alcohol for a while. And I guess it's like, maybe you don't know because you guys are long distance, but are you sensing that there's because I will say 8 years in between doesn't sound like he's got maybe like a full alcohol
but
problem. He probably
30s.
Would have gotten more.
He was in his mid-30s.
He was already in his 30s.
Okay.
He was already in his 30s, which I don't ever excuse a DUI. I'm just wondering, like, are you getting the sense that he has like a bit of a drinking problem, or that he treats drinking like very flippantly and like kind of gets wasted and it doesn't matter?
Like, because I've been drinking for so long, I've got control over it kind of thing. Because I understand also, Ray, as someone that had an alcoholic father, that there are these things that come back that immediately where you're like, I do not have any patience for that, and I will not be put in that situation again. And I would probably break it off over something. I would personally break it off over something like this.
Because just to offer a counterpoint, I had another friend who got 2 DUIs and they no longer drink. You know what I mean? Like,
this
they were
is what
like,
I'm saying,
okay,
Kara. Like,
this is like it.
If it's a wake up call, if this is like a huge like, oh my God, I've got so much to change. People can make mistakes, and we can learn and grow from them.
Exactly. I'm trying to exactly, Jackie. I'm trying not to say like when somebody we love makes a mistake, we cut and run.
No.
But if he's not going to change his attitude or kind of treat this like it was a serious thing, especially knowing your history and past with this kind of stuff, then he's not the person for you.
It's like even just thinking, do you want to even sign a mortgage with that person? You know, like, do you want to be attached to that person? Like, we hit an age, not that I'm even saying, Ray, that you're even thinking about marriage, but it's like, we are at an age that it's like, either we're going to keep it breezy and cash, and then this is just going to be a whatever, and we can deal with this and move on. But if this is someone that you were thinking of building a fuller, like more of a foundation of a life with, truly think about that. This guy, there's something, I think that even in looking at, like, we're all comedians. A lot of us had a lot of substance issues in the past. A lot of us have worked on our issues, and a lot of us have grown. There is something about like seeing somebody that is a debilitating drunk, or I'm not even saying this about this person, but like, or doesn't even think that they have an issue or a problem with it. And as they get older, it gets less and less cute. You know what I mean? I feel like when you're 22 and you're like, I'm crazy and I do destructive things, that's one thing. But man, yuck. When you start getting up there where you're just like, and no one is holding you accountable. Nobody's asking you to be a better version of yourself. No one, and you're not even doing it for yourself. Then I don't have any patience to be around you.
Yeah, I think that you should definitely, if I were you, because you've said I love you and it seems like you really like the guy, although I don't know, maybe it's more casual. I don't know, because you're kind of like, I like my independence. We only see each other here, like whatever. So maybe it's easier said than done to just break it off. But if you're really feeling like conflicted about breaking it off, I would like have a conversation. I would say like, hey, I can't lie to you. The way that it's not that you got this DUI necessarily, even though I am really, really wary about it, because I don't like that you didn't need, like you're in your 40s getting a DUI and you already got one in your 30s. But on top of that, it feels like you're not taking it seriously. And I think it's going to really impact your life, and you're not really, and that's affecting how I feel about you. So like, maybe to say kind of like, if I saw you taking a vested interest in improving and making sure this never happens again, and feeling some remorse and guilt, I would probably be able to get over it. And maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. But like, from what I'm seeing now, I'm leaning towards like us kind of going our separate ways.
Yeah.
Like kicking a man when he's down, I'm sorry, that sucks. But like, you don't need to also go down with the ship. That's like such a female thing to think.
I know.
A man doesn't give a shit about breaking up with a woman after she's just been fired or she's just had something happen. Like, so I would say, I'm sorry that he's going through a hard time, but he's been making some dumb decisions.
Yeah, maybe he does deserve to be kicked when he's down. Maybe that kick might help put him over the edge of recognizing, oh, I should probably deal with this. Maybe I should think about this with a little bit more heft, because it is a very, very, you're right. Get an Uber or a Lyft. You get one of them. And if you can't afford it, that means you can't afford to be out getting hammered. Okay? So just make the choice. There are so many ways in which to not drive under the influence. It's such a devastating choice of life to make. And I'm saying, as somebody that I went to college in Tallahassee, Florida, and I know that I was definitely drinking out, driving all over the place. But I haven't done it in a very, very long time. And I would never, and I would not get into, and I also wouldn't want to start a life with someone that chose to do it.
And to say, you know that like we live far away. So you've honestly also jeopardized the way that we see each other. Like, are you going to take extremely expensive Ubers and Lyfts to go visit him now because he can't drive to you?
Because your license is
he
going to
do
revoked,
that?
Right?
And then is that going to be like, you guys can't do anything anymore because you're spending all your money on like Ubers and Lyfts because one person lost their license? Like, it's just like shows a whole lack of maturity and lack of thinking, and knowing you need a car for your job, and knowing without your job, you're going to lose your house. Like, everything's connected. Your decisions are all connected. And some people need to grow up and realize that. And I don't know. I absolutely sympathize with you getting the ick over this. But I think if you want to try to salvage the relationship, you should explain that to him and see if maybe he's like, oh God, I didn't realize like I could lose you too. Like, let me change. I'm going to go to therapy. Like, I don't know. Let's see if he makes some moves to change.
But even then, take it with a grain of salt too. You know, it's also, it's quite a choice. It's quite a choice. And the not me getting a DUI text really would have
also, and then like just casually dropping in at lunch that he's had one. That's after being together for a year. I would have assumed you would discuss your records.
And he knows that you've lost someone in the past. Like, it's just a lot of this feel. I've gotten the ick. I would not want to continue seeing this person. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
But we know it's hard. It's hard. It really is. It's difficult because in this day and age too, you're like, but I thought I got a good one. But this one, I thought that this one was a good one. And it's so hard because you're like, oh, I don't want to throw that away. But also, he wasn't being honest with you. And that's, at the end of the day, most of what we're asking for.
Yeah.
And to not drive under the influence would be really great.
Honesty and maturity tall orders.
Please. It
tall
is.
orders.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But we've really navigated around a lot of interesting. You did a really great job, Kara, of crafting advice from all different spectrum of people today. Like, I feel like I really
Thank you so much.
I thought at first, I said mincemeat up top, but I feel like we're giving them the truth.
We gave you a mincemeat of an episode, I would say.
We
a little
did.
mincemeat pie of episodes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, not a meat in sight, but a lot of heat, baby. No, there's no heat in here. In fact, I think the only heat is getting angry at people that we have no patience for.
But thank you everybody who wrote to us or left us a voicemail, all the submissions, send us updates.
Yes.
We love to hear them. And
don't forget to watch the full filmed episodes of our beautiful YouTube faces, even though we are separated by a country. Kara and I are still close
we're
via
still
technology.
here for you. We're still on video showing you our beautiful faces. We're wearing the caftans. We're just on Lanai's. We're on Lanai's on opposite coasts.
Yes.
But who'sthebitch.com for all your Who's the Bee needs, all your bitchuations. And then don't forget to follow us at Who's the Bitch LPN. And even if you're like, oh no, I'm a Who's the Bitch in the car kind of girl. I listen on my commute, or kind of guy.
I get it.
I listen, or kind of they, them. You just like, you're really just in it for the audio. Just go and do a subscribe on our page, please. We'd love the subscription.
Doesn't cost nothing. And we
doesn't cost you nothing to subscribe.
And maybe you do want to see our faces every once in a while, and then you'll know when it's popped up.
Let a playlist of our videos play for your cat while you're gone.
Come on.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.